So I'm going to do something. I hope I don't have too much of a lag. Please don't be lagging. Okay. Today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for both sides here. The people that struggle with communication and the people that have lots of communication. Or maybe they're just in communication in general. So it's kind of, it's kind of a little bit tricky. A lot of people wonder, why are they struggling? What is the situation exactly? So I'm here to kind of help understand some of that for you guys. Hopefully this helps. Let me see if I can move my camera just a bit, guys. Bear with me so it doesn't lag. I'm not a fan of the lagging. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Hi, Uriel. So I'm here and I'm going to do double readings, but for those of you that are struggling with communication, please let me know. Kind of raise your hand kind of thing. And those of you that have lots of communication or you're in communication, please let me know, because to be honest, there is a struggle in each department. The struggle is real. And I'm going to start pulling with, let's see, what deck do I want to use? I will use my Dragon Tarot to start with. Okay. And I wanted this kind of up close so you guys could see the cards better. Okay, so hopefully it's not too glitchy. All right. Daniel will fix it for you. Okay. Sorry about that loudness, guys. I tried to cover the microphone. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with those of you that have little communication. Let me put this down. Okay, little communication. Spirit, please be here in these cards. Welcome. Help me to deliver a message about no communication or very little communication. And what is the struggle with this? What is the hurdle? What is the blockage? What do you see for these people? Why is it a block? And I don't really care who's guilty and what side is what. I just want to know what the block is. It doesn't matter if it's the masculine's fault, the feminine's fault. We just want to know the truth. Okay? And I'll hold them up for you like this. That's probably better. Okay. Okay, so what is it going to be? What is the reason for little to no communication? The first card I have is the Two of Wands. And ironically enough, at the other bottom, we have Two of Pentacles. Now, I'm going to hold these two up because that's the bottom. And also, I wanted to show and point out that Death is in reverse. And that's something else all entirely, and we'll get to that. But I think, just to start with, some of the problems with no communication is teamwork. No one here is seeing eye to eye. People are refusing death and transformation in many different terms. I think the wands are more of an Aries symbol, which would be self. And the earth here is also self. If you want to think of it that way, it's both selfish. There is ego that is getting in the way here for no communication people. Now, is this ego on your front or their front? I mean, that's up to you. Uriel Sadaf, thank you so much for your beautiful donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for your super chat. I will answer some questions here at the end. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very, 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 very helpful. You have no idea. So some of the issues that I think we're struggling with is ego and selfishness. Does that always mean that it is your fault? No. I love you too, Uriel. But it can be that one or the other party is unwilling to transform their own ego and their own self. I'm going to put these cards here so we can see. Okay. And then I'm going to talk about death in reverse. Obviously, if you are familiar with tarot, you know that this is a Scorpio card. And you do know that this represents the 8th house of transformation, which is why they put death in the tarot in the first place, so people can transform whatever situation they're trying to accomplish. When you have a reversal, it's saying that I'm not doing this. I am unwilling, or not necessarily unwilling, but you're struggling. Okay, somebody's struggling with transformation. I don't always want to put blame and say somebody's completely unwilling, but sometimes that is the case. And what I see here, good morning, Esmore. What I see here with death reversed is there's a fire, earth, stubborn nature here. I feel that a lot of you that do struggle with communication, you most likely have earth and fire in your chart or your significant other's chart. These are very stable signs that don't like to budge from their own point of view. They're very certain and very grounded and very stable with what they feel they believe in. This is going to bring you that Taurus Aries nature, which is extremely immovable. It's the very, I've dug my heels in and I'm not going to budge. I've already decided. Now, this is exactly what's happening with death in reverse. Someone is not willing to budge. And I'll get to the reasons and details, but if you have earth and fire in your chart, let's just say you have any of those fires, you can have Leo. And let's talk about Leo. This person is magnetic, or magnanimous and magnetic at the same time. He feels very royal, he or she. They feel empowered. They feel that you owe them respect. You owe them whatever they want. They are very kingly, okay, very kingly. They want you to bring gifts. They want you to nurture. They want you to chase. If you're dealing with a Leo, they want you to chase them, okay? They like that. They like, you know, people coming towards them. If their ego is damaged, they will run. If you damage the Leo's ego, as in the fact that they've reached out for you, and maybe you picked a fight, maybe you didn't appreciate what they said, maybe you tore down their ego a little bit, maybe you told them what area that you were not happy with about them, and this made them feel very insecure. And it may not have been a big deal to you. Let's say you're the earth sign. Let's say you're a Virgo who is super critical, who notices the details, who focuses on crossing their T's and dotting their I's, and they just want things to be correct. Oh, Leo, something's wrong with yourself. This is the area of your life that I'm not happy with, and the area of your life that needs correction. Well, there you go. Your Leo is going to run. He is going to run away. You've got the runner and the chaser aspect right now. And at the same time, nobody here intentionally meant to hurt the other. It was self-protection. The earth sign is protecting themselves by trying to fix a problem that makes their foundation unstable. And the fire sign is protecting themselves in, please do not hurt my ego because I will not be the strong leader that I'm supposed to be. Okay, so that's one dynamic. Another dynamic, I'm working.
Don't work it, Mama.
I know. The other dynamic here is, say you're dealing with an Aries, and this is the Aries over here. And then you're dealing with a Taurus. Just examples. You have a leader and another leader. Taurus is another leader, okay? To be stable, sturdy, their foundation needs to be set and engraved and permanent. They have a foundation and they do not want it changed or budged unless it comes from their mind. Aries is free-willing. He's just willing to move around, move to different locations very frequently, travel very often. This is going to make the Taurus very uncomfortable. Don't touch that, please. This is going to make the Taurus feel very uneasy. And I'm not talking about compatibility, because compatibility is very different. But I'm talking about your moon here, your personalities, the way you think. So Taurus is very uneasy with the constant moving around of Aries, the constant talking of other people, with other people. There's probably a lot of competition with Aries. Okay, there's going to be other people that the Aries may be friends with at work, etc. And that's going to make the Taurus feel very uneasy. They don't like the frequent changing that this fire sign has. What about Virgo, Divine Masculine, and Leo DF? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's say you have your Virgo, Divine Masculine, overly critical, points out your faults, points out the issues that need work, has a lot of doubts in the relationship based on strong beliefs in what's already been proven versus what is possible. Okay, that's going to be difficult because they're very judgmental already just based on the past. They are afraid to move on to the future. They think, well, this is the proof that I've already seen. Let's just say this has been going on 6 years. What's going to make the 7th year different? A lot of doubt, a lot of criticism. Then you have your Aries DF. She's possible. She believes that she has the force and the Mars action to take action on this relationship and communicate, push, push, push. And the Earth sign, who's very fixed, doesn't want to budge at all. So they're going to bump heads. Okay, just your personalities, just your mind, you're going to bump heads. So I think some of the things that we're dealing with, lack of communication. There's no communication. What is the hurdle? Does the Virgo need to change? That's up to you. But I will tell you one thing. If you want better communication, somebody has to be willing to change. Somebody has to be willing. Okay? And if two people are unwilling to change the dynamic of and at least look at it, we're going to have a struggle. This is where death in reverse comes into play. If people are struggling with the transformation of themselves, communication is going to be a hurdle. And that may be something that is one of your issues. Okay? You're going to feel like your relationship is very one-sided. That one person's always trying and the other person's not trying enough. Or vice versa. And you want to meet in the middle, and you both need to want to transform. Now, the Aries would probably be prime in this situation because the Aries is the leader. The Aries is going to be the one that shows the other person the way, the leader of the battle, the leader of change. So you'd be very good at that, and you can inspire change in the other person. So that would be a big help. If you're a Virgo and you're the more enlightened one, if you change and you realize that I am a little critical, let me work on my communication skills. Let me change that dynamic. Let me change this about myself. Let me transform myself and come out of my shell a little bit. That also may help. Okay? But those are just some of my thoughts on the purpose. Not the purpose. My thoughts on the scenario. Now, I'm going to do a reading here for those of you that have no contact, and I'll move on to those that do. And I really hate this lag. It's just, I need to calm down because it's bothering me a lot. Spirit, what do you see happening right now for the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine that have little to no contact? What do you see happening right now for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine that have little to no contact? We have Judgment. We have the Hanged Man. I'll let you look at Judgment there. we have the Fool card, which is new beginnings. We have the Page of Cups. And we have the Four of Wands. And we have the Nine of Swords with the Queen of Swords at the bottom. Now I'm going to hold these up so you guys can see without the stupid lag. Okay. Okay. So right off the bat, I want to tell you guys that what I see with you having little to no contact currently right now, judgment is about bringing up the past issues. It's also thinking about the past issues, but it's also about divine intervention. There's some kind of divine timing at work here. There's a reason people have to wait. Now, we have Hanged Man. It means you're enlightened, but you're held up on. And from what I'm getting in my intuition from this reading is somebody is unwilling to come down. They are held up and stuck on the past. Somebody's unwilling to change their perspective on the past. They're making a very difficult judgment call here about being stubborn. They don't want to let go of the grudge they have on somebody. Okay? They just don't want to let go. Again, and earlier when I got the Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles with the reversal for death, is to transform. Unwillingness to change the perspective. So you've got the Hanged Man here, and he's just looking around. He knows what he should do. In fact, he knows what's right. He's looking at, the new beginning. Over here looking at the egg. He knows how to start the new beginning. But again, he's hung up on the Paco. So you know what? Here's your problem just to start with, and I'll get clarifiers. Who could this be? Who could this be? An earth sign, I told you. We have earth and fire here. Again, it's those fixed signs. The stubbornness going on. I will also tell you that the Hanged Man, because we have water here, the Hanged Man also sees. I know it's hard to see because he's all on fire, but that is the Pisces symbol, okay? The Hanged Man in the Major Arcana. So you could be dealing with water, earth, and fire. Now air comes into play as well because we're over here. So, and a lot of people don't like it when I just mention signs. So let's disregard signs here for a moment. The person who is refusing to drop their ego and transform is also realizing that there is somebody with water in their chart or somebody that they love very much that is offering love at this time. They are giving messages of love. They have received the message of this page. The person who is refusing to transform has received the message. They are waiting to respond. The egg has not hatched with the Fool. It should. It's going to start happening eventually, but the transformation has to take place. Now over here you see the Four of Wands. This is two people seeing eye to eye. Okay? It's two people that finally get it. They click, they mesh well, they are in the same energy, they understand each other's thoughts, they understand each other's differences and personalities. This is the yin and the yang. This is the 1111 twin flame card. This means you have met that specific person that you're supposed to be with. You've met your romantic partner. You want marriage, which I feel is more of a feminine energy over here, but you want marriage. You want this commitment. You want to get along. You want this kind of relationship. And you're ready to move forward with the future. Okay, you're ready to move on. So this person is ready to move on, but how willing are you to change? We have the Queen of Swords here. She feels wronged. She wants to be righted. There is something that someone here is with, and they want justice. Where is my Libra? Where is my justice? I have been wronged. I must be righted before I move forward. Again, this is a very stubborn kind of energy, but it's also correct in many forms because she is right. She is smart. She knows when justice needs to be had. She realizes when something was wronged and what needs to be righted about it. There is some stress here that she is unwilling to waver. I'm not going to waver. I know what's right. I know what needs to be done. And even if she is right, do you think that she should be unwilling to waver? Do you think that she should be unwilling to bend for a loved one? There's where things get tricky. This journey is not for the weak-minded. This is a very tricky journey, and there is tosses, there is turns, there is waves, there is situations that need to be dealt with. Go eat your watermelon, please, that I put there for you. Oh my goodness, guys, I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Can you just chit-chat with each other for literally like a minute and a half? I will be right back, maybe less. Just give me a moment, please. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Hopefully it was less than a minute. Okay. We have the Nine of Swords. This is the energy that sits between both parties. It is the energy of illusion. This is the energy of Rahu. This is the energy of, if you guys are not familiar with Rahu, the north node of the moon. This is all about illusions, imaginations, and it's also about a great fear. Saturn can also come into play here, especially with the Judgment card. This is about karma and things that you have to overcome, the fears you must overcome. Somebody here in this scenario with no communication to little communication has a very big fear of a particular something. And I'm going to get to the bottom of that because there's a very, very big fear here. And Spirit is telling me it's a lot more than little things. There's something that needs to be overcome in childhood, something that needs to be overcome in their adult life, something that's haunting them. And you may not even realize it. I have 10 of Wands. What is this great fear? What is this great fear? What is the great fear for both of these parties? What is the great fear? What is the great fear? What is the great fear? Oh, okay, I dropped a couple of them. Interesting. I have the Devil card here. I also got the 8 of Pentacles. And I also got the 5 of Wands. This is somebody here. It's a very habitual habit. This is a very bad habit. and they're afraid they're never going to be able to break it. Or maybe you feel that the other person will never be able to break a habit of some kind. A lot of fire energy here, a lot of Capricorn energy, and the thought of friendships. Maybe people have family members or friends they're fearing that their spouse or their other person will not give up. There is also the fear that somebody has a hold on them. They're not free. That if they get involved into another relationship, it's going to be the same thing all over again. Why would I leave one relationship that I'm trapped in and be trapped in another? I'm screaming for freedom as it is. I'm screaming to get out from under this dragon's grip as it is. If I leave the grip that I'm in, for those of you that are already married and in a relationship with the Devil card, how am I going to come out from this and have a happy, good life and be free? It's a constant mindset of being chained. Hi, Karen. For other people, this is the fear that I'm going to be stuck with this person the rest of my life. I don't know if I'm ever going to have moksha, if I'm ever going to have enlightenment, if I'm ever going to be the person I'm meant to be. I'm afraid to budge. Look at that Capricorn energy. I told you there's a lot of earth energy here. I am afraid to budge. That's one of the fears. On the other side is letting go. Letting go of what? 10 of Wands. This is 10 of Wands, you guys. And look how many chains there are. I really need to think about this because if I'm looking at this correctly, I'm seeing chains, 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 chains. There's something here about being captured and being chained. No freedom. Even the 9 of Swords, no freedom. No freedom. How can you move on with communication? How can we move on to the 4 of Wands? If somebody is unwilling to transform, let go of the past, move forward, and jump into this new beginning, this new energy, which is a new self. Remember, this trip is not even a destination. It's a journey with your partner. And they're not the prize. The prize is, the reward is freedom of yourself, freedom of programming, freedom from the world that has put you in a cage in the first place. I also see that some of your issues here, thank you, Karen. I also see that some of your issues here with no communication is 7 of Swords. There is some people out here that are not telling the truth. They are lying either to you or to somebody else about you, or they're lying to you about somebody else. Even their life in general. And I'm going to get some clarity on what they're lying about, but that is another hurdle. Of course you have to transform that energy. Now the 8 of Pentacles over here is about doing the same thing over and over and over again, creating the same pentacle. Somebody here in this no communication has a fear of normalcy, complacency, being stuck, doing the same thing forever and ever forever. Rohini, hi. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see me live. Thank you. Oh, you're glad to see me live. Thank you. You don't need to be feeling so scared because it all starts in where? Where does this all start? The mind. Now, somebody is not letting go of something in the past, and who are they blaming? They're blaming the other person. It's your fault that I'm in this position, or it's my spouse's fault that I'm in this position. It's somebody else's fault. It is not my fault that I'm stuck and in this imposition, and I will not let anybody else take hold of me. I am unwilling to come down from my perch and unwilling to change because I know everything. I know the future, I know the past, and that's sold and delivered. Put a stamp on it, ship it out. The goose is cooked. They're unwilling to look at this differently. They're refusing to change. Now, can this continue? Can this go on forever? It depends. But I'll tell you one thing, if you're a divine person and Spirit is asking you to change, and they are bringing towers down on you, and they are bringing the death card over and over, this transformation, and they are bringing financial hurdles, and you are finding barriers and walls in your career. You are finding barriers and walls in your friendships. If you're finding barriers and walls with your kids, there's a reason. Because the universe is trying to get your attention over the areas in your life that need attention and change. And sometimes you can change your perspective on one thing when you get your mind on something else. And it will inherently, I don't know the word. It will somehow transform you without even trying. My example is, if you're unwilling to communicate with your loved one, twin flame, you're just a grouch and you're unwilling to waver and you're unwilling to communicate because you're a very unhappy person, 9 of Swords. Look at you, lying, feeling trapped, stuck at your job. You hate it, it's miserable. You hate your job, you hate your financial situation. You're codependent on drugs or alcohol or other relationships, and you're not free. So you're not wanting to communicate with her because you haven't let go of the 10 of Wands. Let's just say that you're not able to have enlightenment through your partner. Let's say you have children or a friend, and the universe is saying, go hang out with them. Spend time with them. They're knocking on your door. They're calling you. They're crying. They're bothering the hell out of you. There's a field trip coming up, or there's a family night. Somebody canceled a weekend to take your kids away, and you have them. And you're unconsciously blocking them out because you're an unhappy person. You're unhappy with your twin. You're unhappy with your family or your friends. If you put your guards down and listen to what's right in front of you, whether that be family or friends or work or whatever, then the universe sends you on some kind of a journey with them. This could be something to do at home, even playing games one night, watching movies, getting to know each other again. In this way, you're going to get to know yourself again. There's going to be an unveiling and an enlightening moment where you're having fun, where you have put your guard down, where you have let go of your fears, where you have stopped being a masky, false person. And all of a sudden, all of these fears that you once had have dissipated for that evening or that weekend. And now you have given yourself enough time to be clear, clear-headed, clear-minded, and most of all, lighthearted. You've released the energy. Do you see the trick? It didn't happen with the other person. It just happened with other people that the universe is putting in your path, specifically for you to release the energy. Because it doesn't matter who is this energy. It doesn't have to be your twin. But if the universe puts somebody in your path that helps you to put your guard down and release the negativity in your life, hey, a release is a release. And you will start to feel better, think better, act better, and be better. And be better for who? For that person that reaches out to you. You know that saying when people say, well, when my money's right, I'll be happy. When I'll be happy. When I get this house done, I'll be happy. When I get, whatever goal you want, you're going to be happy with everybody and you won't be a grouch. It's like being hangry. Hangry. You're angry when you're hungry. It's science. It's a biological fact. You would be a grouchy ass MFer if you did not eat nothing all day. You're not going to be happy driving on the road. You're not going to be happy on the phone. You're not going to be happy with whoever's in front of you, and you're going to be an ass. Okay? Go eat something. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be so rude. But it's the same scenario, guys. When you're not in communication with somebody, guess what happens? You get hangry. And you're hangry for communication. And for those of you that are not in the United States, and that's like totally a confusing word, I'm sorry. It means you're angry when you're hungry. You have a Snickers bar? Yin Bear. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, I like that. Rohini mentioned Gemini. Gemini sister, I was missing 2 hours back, thinking it will be good if there's another reading from you. Oh, there will be. Rohini, but I'm glad that you you brought up Gemini, because that brought up a thought just now. When you are an air sign, and there could be somebody with air in their chart that is not getting communication, this can be your Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. But let me tell you something, especially 100% without a shadow of any doubt, if you're a Gemini. 100%. You need communication in your relationship. And if you're not getting it, the whole world stops. In fact, the relationship feels like it's over. If I do not have clear, honest communication, it's over. I will not continue this. And even though you're as headstrong and as powerful as this queen, and you put your sword down and go, yep, that's the answer, it's not, because it still makes you feel like what? The Nine of Swords. Even if you tell yourself this, you're still Nine of Swords. That's me, I'm Gemini sun. Oh yeah, there you go, Marco. So even if you feel like that, Gemini, or Libra, Aquarius, even if you feel like if there's no communication, there's nothing, there's no reason to continue, you can say what you want all day long, and you may feel really positive in that moment. You feel like you have just released the beast. You've put your sword down. I'm done. Ooh, I can breathe again. I'm going to stretch. Hell yeah, that's my answer. I am done. I am moving on. You're good for how long? How long are you going to be good for, my tarot readers? One day. One sword. One sword equals 1 day. You're going to be good for 1 day, maybe 9. But by the 9th day, or within days, you're going to feel like shit, trapped in your head again. Excuse me, again. And you will not be able to escape your thoughts, because now your moon signs, your rising signs, other signs come into play. Why am I rejected? These is all questions. Okay, think of these as all questions. Why am I rejected? Why does this person not want me? Why is this person ignoring me? Who to? What is their intentions? Blah, blah, blah. You have all these questions, okay? 1,000 questions. And it's going to drive you nuts because you're a Gemini and you're going to be overthinking the damn thing anyways. So you're in a pickle. You're in a damn pickle. And let me tell you, what do you call that? What is this little mixture here? Codependency. This is why we were born, guys, here and reincarnated. We have to overcome ourselves. We have to overcome our own burdens, our own barriers, our own things that make a thing. We do not need to be controlled by our feelings. We should control them. And if we cannot control our feelings, at the very least, acknowledge them and let them go. If you feel sad, breathe it in, release it. You can't change the way you feel, but you can change the way you react to the way you feel. Change the way you're reacting to it. Sometimes you get angry, mad, pissed. Maybe you go out drinking. Maybe you punch walls. Maybe you cry. Maybe you get into a disparity. Whatever that codependency is, on your Nine of Swords illusion and situation, this Rahu, change the way you react. Train your brain and your body that, yes, I am feeling pain and stress and anxiety. I am feeling that. I acknowledge you. But now I'm going to go and, let's just say, meditate. Let's just say I'm going to go cross my legs. Breathe in, I am not this mind. Breathe out, I am not this body. I am a spiritual person. I am an energy that is experiencing life. I am not this mind. I am not this body. I am an energy experiencing life. This moment will pass. Train your brain to overcome the feeling of disparity. Do not become codependent on your feelings and letting them control you. The way I see that, that's the chains. Your feelings making you codependent, that's the chains. That is an addiction. Like any drug, it makes you crave more. And what happens with people in relationships, all of a sudden their partner becomes their drug, which is perfectly natural. We were built this way. We're biologically, chemically created to have endorphins, the serotonin, dopamine that we get from love. Making love, having communication, connecting with another person is natural. It happens. We become naturally dependent on our spouse or our partner. It also becomes an addiction. It's very normal. I'm not saying you're abnormal if this happens. Codependency is very normal, especially in relationships. You become bonded. Okay? But we enlightened beings are meant to overcome this dependency. We're meant to be stronger. We're meant to be wiser. We're meant to be enlightened on this and master our body. Conquer your body. Your body does not control you. Your mind and your spirit controls your body. So even though it is 100% natural, 100% normal, you have to conquer your body. You must transform. Do not deny yourself this transformation and do not stop this death card from doing its job. Conquering your codependency on your body, on who you are, who you were built to be, what you were meant to be. You're a Gemini, so you're built to be a thinker. You're a Taurus, so you're meant to be stable and grounded and certain. These are all good qualities. But do they rule you or do you rule them? Okay, so this is my opinion and theory on. I'm not blaming one party nor the other. But I am saying if we are divine, we are to overcome ourselves, overcome our emotions, overcome our body and our thoughts, become wiser and more enlightened. If you ever catch yourself in the moment of prosperity, this is going to be crying hysterically, overly emotional, overly, how do I say, with Rahu, with the moon, it's just like, oh my gosh, if you have Rahu with your moon, the south node, I'm sorry, the north node with your moon, it's a constant lashing on your physical body. Your emotional side becomes overpowered by your thoughts. It's almost inescapable. You become sucked into a vortex of emotions until your body is so completely worn out that you just drop and you sleep. You just have to rest your mind. Your mind has been so overworked that all of a sudden you must sleep 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever, or you must take a nap in the day and your body is emotionally, physically drained. This Nine of Swords can do this to you. It can definitely do this to you. We're meant to overcome that because even though that's your natural state, even though that's your natural being, you must overcome it, right? No one wants to stay stuck in that, and you don't want to keep being in a repeated cycle of that. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and please don't take offense to it. But if there is another hurdle and a reason why spirit, let's just say the universe and the planets, let's just say you, the relationship of your desire, if it is not giving you this, maybe it's because you have not mastered your emotions. And when you do come into union with your lover, your twin, because of this instability, this emotional erraticism, this weakness that needs to be overcome, your marriage will not last. You will have a fight and overreact eventually and lose that person because they are unwilling to, and look at this, they are unwilling to deal with somebody that is that emotional. Versus side, you, as the stable person, are unwilling to budge and waver from the past and unwilling to forgive, then that air sign is unwilling in the future to bend to your desires and will. She will stand firm because she does not like your stubbornness, and she may leave. She may be the one walking out and saying this person is mean all the time, rude, condescending, stubborn, unwilling to compromise, overpowering. Let's just go ahead and use the term King of Wands, Emperor, overpowering. That fixed earthy energy, unwilling to move, stuck in the past. So let me tell you something. If you're not having communication right now, it's for a reason. It's because some of these attributes need to be looked at and overcome. So it's not always that someone is judging you, or they don't want you, or something's wrong with you, or they love somebody else more. It's that your energy field, your vibrations are giving off a repellent to the universe to deliver a marriage that is not going to last, because the emotions and behaviors are creating a visible foundation. I hope that answered some questions. I'm going to get a timeline here for you guys with your no communication, so you have an idea. You have some kind of idea what's going to happen with communication. Because let me tell you something real quickly while I'm shuffling. If you have no communication, you will be given the opportunity. And every time you're given the opportunity, you may also be tested. You may also be tested with some very disappointing attribute to your relationship. This is going to be a disappointing message, a sudden stop in contact, a rejection of some kind. Do you see how those triggers pop up after you get your new opportunity for communication? You may also have the opportunity to become obsessed with what they're doing in their life. It's like the universe will open a communication. They come back and you're given the opportunity to react a certain way. But you choose to react Eight of Pentacles the same way over and over, expecting a different result. You expect the person to change, not you. So you do the same things that you've always done, and then you lose communication again. This is the refusal of the Death card. Ooh, shit. Okay, Spirit, I'll take a couple. Okay, what do we have laid out for the people with no communication? Ooh, you guys, spoiler alert, you got 10 of Cups. You got 7 of Pentacles, and you got 5 of Swords. Interesting, interesting. And I said King of Wands earlier, didn't I? Now I got King of Wands. Am I still lagging, guys? Crap. I hate this lagging. Let me move this up. Is it still lagging? Okay. Guys, with no communication, this is your layout. Okay. You have the Star card over here on the left. You have the 10 of... You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 5 of Swords, and you have the King of Wands. For those of you that have no communication, this can be a difficult time. And you also have the Tower in reverse. That's the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to keep it here, just on the side note. So you guys can, actually, I'm going to keep it right here so you guys can see. Okay? So you have Tower in reverse. What I see happening right off the bat, very soon, probably within a week or 11 days, you're going to have a connection with this person. You are going to connect with them. The stars can mean through astrology, through dreams, You can connect with them in that way. It can also mean a